go 7-5 every year.
We got a chip on our shoulder.
It's going to be a dogfight.
I came to South Carolina to compete for championships.
And we're going to give them everything that we got.
This is a top 15 matchup because of the players they have coming back.
They've got players everywhere. I would think their talent level is one of the best in that league.
Hey, I'm pulling an audible. Let's stop the show. Let's just kick off the game now. South Carolina, Virginia Tech. It's going to be a movie at Mercedes-Benz Stadium down in Atlanta. It's a beauty, right? Spring ball is over. Fall ball is over. It's the eve of college football kicking off and returning to the Palmetto State. Welcome into our college football season preview special. Chaz Frazier joined alongside Noah Chaz.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's head down to the field. That got me hype. All right, Shane, we see you. We are in for not one, but two massive season opening games for South Carolina and Clemson coming up. And the buzz is high around Gamecock football, who's coming off that great 9-win season last year. South Carolina ranked number 13. 13 in the AP poll in the top 25, their first preseason ranking since 2014.
Yeah, and that comes with high hopes for their first ever college football playoff berth. A fast start against Virginia Tech, you guessed it, it's a must. Head coaches Shane Beamer and Brent Pry weigh in on Sunday's matchup down in the A.
They got really good players on all three phases. They're very well coached. I don't think enough people are talking about Kyron Drones, the quarterback. He's a heck of a talent, and he can make all the throws. He reminds me a lot of Lenoir's and his ability to run the ball. In my opinion, last season was much better than their record. 2 7-point losses, I believe, a 4-point loss, and 2 3-point losses. They're on the other side of those. They're a player or two away from being a 9-3 team. This is a top 15 matchup because of the players they have coming back.
Well, I think the hype surrounding Lenoir's is accurate. You watch the Clemson game, you watch the Missouri game. I mean, this guy just, whether he's throwing it and certainly doing it with his legs, he's very hard to tackle. He's got great field presence. They've got players everywhere, and they've helped themselves with some good transfers.
Yeah, the storylines, they run deep in this season opener. Shane is the son of former longtime Hokies head coach Frank Bringber, of course, who has a statue outside of Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. Shane was a walk-on and played for his dad from 1995 to 1999, so going to be an emotional one. And while there's so many questions about South Carolina's running back room per se, young wide receiver core, or the O-line's ability to take that next step, there's no doubt surrounding South Carolina's QB1 after totaling 25 touchdowns and over 2,500 pass yards in 2024. Lenore Sellers, he's in the preseason Heisman conversation. Mike Shula was promoted to offensive coordinator in December of last year. Shula said all summer long, get this, Sellers has gotten even better.
That is a scary sight for SEC defenses, and even better, Lenore Sellers.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the big question for Clayton White and the Gamecock defense, how can they replace all of the production they had from the 5 players who are now playing in the NFL? Carolina's defense last year had 41 sacks. That's just 2 off the all-time school record of 43 that was set back in 2012. Good news for White and company. They have this little old guy on the edge. Have you ever heard of him? His name is Dylan Stewart, who was freshman All-American on last season's historic defense, one of the best edge rushers in all of college football.
Very strong defense as far as just our size. We're a lot bigger as far as if you just go pound for pound what we weighed last year and how strong we were in the weight room. We still have Dylan, we still have BT, we still have guys that are really good players. Trying to replace that stuff from last year, it's a brand new year, so we're trying to make sure that everyone's involved. It's not just the edge room that gets sacks. It's obviously the D tackles, linebackers, and DBs.
You guys know we're young. We're still fitting pieces together, and everybody's kind of in the same boat. There's going to be a lot of other teams are going to have young guys playing or transfer portal guys playing, and you got to try to make them fit as fast as you can. And each play together kind of helps that. Compared to our first day of fall practice, I think we're a lot further along. So, but obviously the tests come when the games come.
White is entering year 5 as South Carolina defensive coordinator, while Shula enters his first full year as OC after Dow Loggins accepted the head coaching job over at App State.
All right, now we're spinning it forward. We talked about this team as a whole. Now some of the top storylines or maybe some of our biggest questions. No, I got to start with special teams.
Yeah, Beamer ball.
Yeah, Beamer ball. Pete Limbo no longer, over that group. He took a head coaching job at the University of Buffalo. Now insert longtime special teams NFL special coordinator coach, Joe DeCamillis. So that's going to be a big question to watch. You know, they're replacing almost all the important positions, long snapper, punter, just a big group that you need to keep your eye on ahead of the season.
Absolutely. You need to see how that turns out because that is normally a strength of the South Carolina team. Now let's go to the next point. The new look defense, right? We just talked about it. You're replacing so many talented guys in that defensive front in the secondary. Yeah. So how does that all formulate? How does that all come to be from that defensive side? The talent's there, but are the transfer portal fill-ins, are they giving the production that you saw a year ago from guys like Kyle Kennard, Demetrius Knight, and the like? So that is another one. And on that same note, is the leadership, right? Yeah. On that defense, while they were experienced and talented, they were the emotional leaders of that team last year, guys like Debo Williams. So who from this team steps up emotionally, right? You know, Lenora Sellers, Dylan Stewart, they're more of the quieter guys on the team, but they're the most talented. So who leads that team from the inside out?
All good questions. And then the last one, it's how does this team build on last year's success? You know, they won 9 games. This is a program that only has 9 win plus win seasons in the history of the program. 4 10-plus win seasons. So, you know, a lot of people like to think, okay, they had a great year. Is this going to be followed up by a bad year? But Shane Beamer, you know what he likes to say, he has a quarterback, you know, and he has a lot of supporting cast. So he believes, you know, they're going to run it back with another at least 9-plus win season. But time will tell, right?
That's what they're hoping for. You can't fall off. You got to keep the success building, as Shane Beamer would like to do.
Yeah, and we're just getting started with our college football preview special. So much more to come, including my sit-down interview with Gamecock head football coach Shane Beamer. Stick around for that and much more after this quick timeout.
The 2025 college football season preview is presented by George Sink Injury Lawyers. Call our team. You know the number, all 9.
It's game week. Like, let's go. All right, this is what we signed up to do.
Our goal is to win the opener. I think it is a monster of its own.
When you play games like this, you can get beat, but we don't shy away from that.
We still think we are the Death Valley. They can use the name too. We're letting them borrow it.
We'll play the game. I'm more excited about a chance to win. We'll spot the ball and go see what happens.
Oh, the battle of the Tigers and the fight for the real Death Valley. Clemson season could not kick off in a bigger way, Chaz. Tomorrow is the 4th-ranked Tigers welcome in the 9th-ranked LSU Tigers in primetime right here on ABC Columbia.
Gotta love it.
Oh, yeah. Clemson and LSU meeting for the first time since the 2019 CFP championship game won by your guy, Joe Burrow. Yeah. And that stacked LSU team was a 42-25 blowout.
Yeah, last season, the Bayou Bengals had a disappointing 9-4 season by LSU standards, that is. Clemson sneaking their way into the CFP via a conference title, but bounced after the first round by Texas.
Both these teams with experienced quarterbacks, high team expectations, and some respect for each other's programs. Here's the coaches.
This is a very talented football team on both sides of the ball. You know, similar to us in a lot of ways, you know, in that they've got elite quarterback play, elite skill, and they got dudes in the trenches on both sides. So that's why it's a top 10 matchup. I don't have any doubt it's going to be one heck of a game.
This is going to be a great challenge, one that we're excited about, one that we're up for, and you know, any goal that you put out there, it's not worthwhile unless it's a challenge. And so this will be a great challenge that our kids are excited about.
Oh yeah, this one should be fun because of the experienced offenses both sides are going to put out there.
For sure, and for OC Garrett Riley and this Clemson offense, one of their strengths is their elite and deep receiving core. Antonio Williams, Bryant Westco Jr., and how about TJ Moore leading the charge with a combined 2,200 yards and 20 touchdowns last season. That's a lot. Cade Klubnik, of course, the engine of this offense, ACC preseason player of the year and a Heisman hopeful coming into his own last season as a passer and a runner.
Yeah, they're loaded on offense. For the Clemson defense, they're led by their talent up front. Peter Woods and TJ Parker, 2 guys projected in the first round of this year's NFL draft. Plus, you had experienced guys in the secondary like an Avion Terrell, some linebackers like Wade Woodaz and Sammy Brown. The defense has potential to be great, but the biggest difference from last year's disappointing defensive season to this year is the hire of new D coordinator Tom Allen.
I feel like we're in a good place, but until you go do it, you know, against an opponent, it will be tested, you know. And They have the athletes to do that. That is the expectation, to be an elite tackling defense. I think that's just part of, we talk about takeaways, tackling and efforts, our DNA. I feel good about where we are, but, that's always the one thing going into game one that you're always, you just, until you go out there and do it. And you'll get better and better as the season unfolds. But in this one, we got to be great day one.
There's another level for him, and that's what he's chasing, and that's what we're all chasing. So routine plays are there, routine things are there. We got to hit those every time. Like, he's that caliber of a player, and so that's been the big charge. But this game's going to continue to slow down for him, I think, as this season goes on, and he's heading into his senior year. So expect a lot of big things from him for sure.
Expectations are high for Klubnik and the Tigers. And Chaz, I'm just going to run through a couple of these key storylines here for Clemson. The number one question is the running game, right? They're replacing Phil Maffa, who was so productive last year. And now you take Adam Randall, a wide receiver turned running back. How does that, pan out? Then they have a freshman running back who's, very talented himself, impressing so far in camp. And can they expose that dual threat ability that Kay Klubnik has by establishing the run? Okay, point number 2. The new look defense, we mentioned it. Tom Allen, can he turn this back into an elite defense with a top 10 defense last year with Penn State? Clemson was bottom 50 in nearly every defensive category last year, so that's something that needs to be turned around. And let's go to our last point. The big bad SEC. Clemson, with not the best record, they were 3-6 against the SEC since 2021, 0-3 last season, and when they were having their heyday from 14-18, 10-3 against the conference. So it's a good kind of barometer for how talented this team really is. And so, of course, they start and end their season with LSU and South Carolina. So if they win these games, that could be the difference between hosting the playoff game, getting a bye, or really just proving they're a real national championship contender.
Yeah, a lot to look for with the Clemson Tigers and those top storylines heading into tomorrow's big-time opener. Shane Beamer has been vocal all season long about how confident he is in his group. Stick around for my one-on-one sit-down interview with South Carolina's head ball coach. Welcome back. Shane Beamer enters year 5 at South Carolina as the winningest head football coach in program history through 4 years.
Yeah, and as the Gamecocks come off that historic 2024, Coach Beamer actually shared with you, Chaz, why he believes South Carolina can make the college football playoff among some other goals.
Yeah, check out my one-on-one with Coach Beamer.
Year 5. Hard to believe, right? Yeah. I mean, from the moment you got that phone call, inked the deal, had the introductory press conference, until now, what's been the most memorable moment for you?
Wow. There have been a lot. It'd be hard to, single out one. Obviously, people think of the great wins that we've had, and we've had some great ones over those 4 years. But I also think about the great moments with players and coaches and staff outside of games, on the practice field, and just in the facility each day with them. There have been some great moments, hard to single out one, and hopefully the best one is still to come.
Through 4 years, you're the winningest head football coach in school history. You know the history, the legendary coaches that have been on the sidelines leading this program. What is the key to that type of success early on, in your opinion?
We've got a strong culture. We wouldn't be able to overcome some of the adversity that we've faced if we didn't have that strong culture. So that's part of it. It's very humbling to hear that, and expect many more wins to come here in the future as well. But pretty cool to hear that, and it's a testament to the people around me.
You were ahead of the curve on your QB1, Lenore Sellers, multiple time on national television last year. You said this is the best player in the country. He should be in the Heisman talk.
That guy's not in the Heisman Trophy conversation. I don't know who is.
We fast forward.
Lenore Sellers is the best player in the country. And all you media people that vote on the Heisman, if you're not voting for that guy in the mix for the Heisman Trophy, you're out of your minds.
What are people going to continue to see about Sellers this fall?
How hungry he is to continue to improve. He's worked really hard since January. You think about it, he didn't start and finish an SEC football game until the Alabama or Ole Miss game was the first game that he started.
And Lenore Sellers is heading to the South Carolina locker room.
He was a guy that didn't play a lot of football early in the season because of some injuries.
Holding his ankle there after the play is Sellers. His shoe is off and he's limping, and that's a concern.
And then once he came back, how he just continued to get better each and every week. And then I look at it, that's what he's done
since the end of the season when he came back in January, and then what he's done from January until now. He's continued to get better, and I think people will see that, how he's improved, and then just his hunger to be a great player.
When asked, you don't shy away from saying,
I do believe we deserve a spot in the 12-team playoff.
Why is South Carolina going to be in the college football playoff this year?
We want to win every football game, and we're not sitting there saying, well, we're going to chalk up that one. So it's that we always have those expectations. That's just being a competitor. Certainly when you have a quarterback like Norris, that gives you a chance to be in every game, have a chance to win every game. And then it's just the talented guys we have around them, the leadership that we have. We've got really, really good people on our team, and that gives me a lot of confidence. You win with people, and we've got some great people.
The 2025 college football season preview is presented by George Sink Injury Lawyers. Call our team. You know the number, all nines.
Welcome on back. What a first year it was for Chennis Berry down in Orangeburg. The South Carolina State Bulldogs won 9 games, went 5-0 in league play en route to that MEAC title, and played for a Celebration Bowl. Coach Berry was the first coach in program history to win a conference championship in year 1. With last year's success, the expectations are high, and the Bulldogs, they're embracing them head on this fall.
One of the most exciting things about our football team this year, to be honest, is the depth. I mean, at the end of the day, the cream is going to rise to the top. The bar has been risen, all right, in terms of there's an expectation of how people expect us to play. So our guys understand that. They know that they don't have to earn everything they get in this program, from jersey numbers to where they fit in our depth chart. They have to go earn it. So all in all, I'm excited about the talent that we have.
All right, Coach, already in midseason form. SC State's 2025 roster features 32 transfers and 12 freshmen. The Bulldogs will host Wofford to open the season Saturday at 6.
The Benedict Tigers are gearing up for the 2025 football season, year 2 for head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. Last year, the Young Tigers went 4-6 with a couple of close losses, this following the championship season in 23. Dickerson says this season, with a full year of recruiting under his belt, a little more comfortable, the Tigers should be a different team, with talented transfers and a number of all-conference returners. Coach Dickerson believes this team is more prepared than last year's was.
You know, it's just really great to see the bonding, because that's really what it comes to, is that when you have to take 135-plus young men, and they all come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, and they have to understand what the standard is. Not only the standard for the university, but also what the standard is for the football program. And I'm really, really excited because we've taken leaps and bounds from where we were, again, this time last year. And I guess that's why I'm not as nervous as I was last year as I am today.
Okay, BC will host Fayetteville State on Saturday at 5 to kick off its season.
All right, year 3 soon underway for Tim Beck at Coastal Carolina. The Chants went 6-7 last year and ended the year on a 44-15 loss in the Myrtle Beach Bowl to UTSA. CCU, like many other colleges, have a new look team with transfers and freshmen. There may be new faces, but here's one reason why Coach Beck has confidence with his team ahead of their opener.
I think at the end of the day, our leadership in general as a football team's better. It was one of the things I focused on in the offseason was accountability. I needed to find out from January until the summer who was really all in and who wasn't.
All right, Tim Beck named Maryland transfer MJ Morris the Week 1 starter. Coastal will travel to Virginia for a 6 p.m. kickoff on Saturday.
Here's a quick look at some of the other college state teams here with some action and matchups this week. Got some fun stuff. The Bison, FCS champs, coming into town as well.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We appreciate you joining us for our college football preview special. He's Noah Chast. I'm Chast Frazier. We'll see you tomorrow night in Clemson for our first Gamecocks Saturday night of the season. It's going to be a fun one.
We made it.
The 2025 college football season preview is presented by George Sink Injury Lawyers. Call our team. You know the number, all nines.
In this rap battle,